Hello friends. See, in the coming days, you will hear something like this. The questions, the newspaper headings like Arctic में Russia is claiming some part of an Arctic, India is going to the Arctic region, USA is going to some part of an Arctic region. In the last year, you must have heard the headline or you must have read the headline that Russia sends warship to the Arctic Ocean region. In the 2015 prelims, a question came, what is an end arc policy? In 2015 mains came a question regarding Arctic, and if some question comes regarding 2016, we won't be surprised regarding the Arctic Ocean. But at the same time, we should know what will be the nature of a question in the Arctic Ocean. Will they ask about the ocean bottom relief of an Arctic Ocean, or they will ask about some kind of an economic policy of an Arctic Ocean? Now here comes the understanding of Arctic is opening up. What do you mean by Arctic is opening up? Arctic Ocean refers to the global ocean above the Arctic Circle, which is a permanently frozen region, which is surrounded by some countries. Now it is a permanently frozen region, means that in this region there are ice caps in the form of a glacier. The ocean surface ice is also frozen ice, and due to the global warming, we cannot say exactly climate change, but due to the global warming, because climate change is something different, it can be natural process also, but due to the global warming, the Arctic is opening up, means uska ice caps are melting, the Arctic ice is melting up. This is one thing you should know, that the Arctic is opening up. Now second thing you should know is the Arctic, due to opening up of Arctic, already the areas which were inaccessible to us are becoming accessible. The third thing is you should know, even if the area is inaccessible, we are trying to make it more and more accessible. How? By sending warships for breaking down the ice of an oceans. Not we countries, but the countries who are surrounding the Arctic region. Why are we doing that? Our world is resource crunch. There is always a research crunch. Rising population, rising differences, more demand for energy, more demand for consumerism, more demand for the consumer culture, more demand for industrial output, more demand for cheap energy is making us look for different sources of energy. We have tapped the energy in the Middle East region. We have tapped the energy in the habitable zone of the world. But if somebody tells there is lot amount of energy in or petroleum in Alaska, in Arctic region, in the Arctic Ocean region, we will go and explore the Arctic. And therefore, oil and natural gas was discovered in the Arctic, and the question came to you in the 2015 examination. That is, discovery of oil and natural gas has resulted in what in the Arctic Ocean. So why this question was here, that because opening up of the Arctic. Now in some of the previous lectures, you obviously know that the largest amount of fresh water in the world, which obviously is stressed up, is held in ice caps and glaciers. Ice caps and glaciers in which region? In Himalayas or in polar regions? Obviously in the polar regions. Polar regions have largest amount of ice caps and glaciers of the world, and therefore yahan pe in the polar regions there is large amount of fresh water. Now with the opening up of the Arctic, the glaciers are melting, that means the fresh water is going to be added to the sea. Now because of this, sea level will rise, because of this sea level change will happen, that is the change in the sea level, which is another topic which is associated with environment and ecology. Now obviously they will be covered by some teachers in your environment and ecology section, that is the rise of sea level and how will it affect the world, how will it affect India. Example, I am giving you a small thing. Where do most of the people in the world live? They live in the coastal cities. Now if the sea level change, that is rise of the sea level happens, water will enter the cities, people will have to shift backwards. Already in a resource crunch country like India, large scale migration happens. People already talk of regionalism, that is southern versus northern, Punjab versus non-Punjabi. We have more of a state identity rather than the national identity. We have more of a regional identity rather than the national identity. And in such situation, it is like a time bomb on which we are sitting. That is large scale migration Already there is lack of good agricultural land which we are diverting for industrial use. Maybe SEZ policy criticized for what? Maybe the new policy, land use policy of a new government criticized for some reason. Why? Because nobody wants to set up industries in the backward region on the bad land. Everybody wants the industries on a good agricultural land. Food inflation is rising up. Food prices are rising up. India will soon overtake China as one of the largest country. India is the youngest country in the world. That is, after India, China is the youngest country, but now youngest country in the world, that is having a working population between 15 to 59. Therefore, we call it as a demographically young country. And if and why we say demographic dividend is because we should make use of such population in which we are having more of a young population, to increase our national income, to increase our output, to increase our GDP, to increase our finances, and to make India a superpower in the world. So we are an aspiring superpower, we are a nascent power, we are an aspiring superpower, or we can say potential superpower, but only if we use the resources very properly. Now coming to the Arctic region. So these are some of the challenges that the Arctic faces. So we will study what the Arctic Ocean is, and then we will discuss in the next lecture I will discuss what would the question in this year's mains examination meant. So what is an Arctic Ocean? The ocean in the 90-degree North Polar or in the polar regions in the northern hemisphere is an Arctic Ocean. Territorially, the countries which surround the Arctic Ocean are USA. Why USA? From which region of USA? This is not the main USA, but Alaska region of USA. So Alaska Alaska is the country which surrounds. Alaska is a region of USA which surrounds the Arctic. So you can say USA. Canada, through the mainland Canada and through the Baffin Islands of Canada. Through the Baffin Islands of Canada, they surround. Greenland. Now, which country which is the country of which Greenland belongs, or which country owns the Greenland? So we can say Denmark surrounds the Arctic Ocean. Does the Iceland surround? No. Don't make a mistake of making that. Iceland is just the southern hemisphere. Norway, Sweden, Finland. By the diagram itself, you can say which country surrounds the Arctic Ocean. Now, I will shade the Norway in red color. So you see how the Norway is located. This is how the Norway surrounds the Arctic Ocean, but not the Sweden and the Finland. So the countries which surrounds the Arctic Ocean in this three is territorial waters of Arctic. I am saying that is the jahan pe Arctic Ocean touches, it is only Norway, not Sweden and Finland, because Sweden is, you can see, does not have a shore in the Arctic Ocean, neither has the Finland a shore in the Arctic Ocean. So only the red shaded region here which belongs to the Norway. So the Norway surrounds the Arctic Ocean, and no doubt the large country Russia surrounds the Arctic Ocean through its different parts such as Kola Peninsula, etc. So all the land and territorial waters of the Arctic belong to 5 countries. Which are these 5 countries? USA, Canada, Denmark, Norway, and 5th is Russia. So all the territorial waters. Write down these important concepts, because this is a hot topic. It will be in the current affairs regularly. So this is not, we can say, a part of a conventional geography, but the part of a current affairs geography. So these are the topics which are, and you can see 2014 examination question came from the Arctic, 2015 examination the question came from the Arctic, 2016 examination, don't be surprised if the question comes, but in some other format in the Arctic. So the territorial waters of the Arctic are surrounded by 5 countries: USA through Alaska region, Canada, Greenland, that is Denmark, then Norway and Russia. These are the countries surrounding Arctic. But what about the issues regarding Arctic? Who owns the Arctic Ocean? USA says that I own the Arctic Ocean. Same Canada will say, same Denmark will say, same Russia will say, same Norway will say. But obviously these countries are not in isolation. You can say Norway is very near to Sweden and Finland. Whatever the changes in the Arctic will affect these countries. Whatever the changes in the Arctic will affect the Iceland region. And as a result, the Intergovernmental Council was formed to address the issues on the Arctic. Now this is known as an Arctic Council. I hope that now you have drawn this diagram. So I will rub this diagram now. So what is an Arctic Council? Arctic Council is an intergovernmental council. Is an intergovernmental council that addresses the issues of Arctic. It is an intergovernmental council formed to address the issues of the Arctic region. Now there are 8 countries which are there in this council. What are these 8 countries which are there? The number one country or the topmost countries are these 5 countries which are there. They are USA, Canada, Denmark due to Greenland. But as I told you, there will be 3 more countries because this Iceland, Sweden and Finland will be the countries which are very near to the Arctic. Water body, natural resources do not know the boundaries which we humans have set up. We say that this ocean is an Arctic Ocean. We say that this ocean is an Indian Ocean. But the natural body of water or the natural resources or the birds, animals, they do not follow the political boundaries. So if any change happens in the Arctic, the surrounding countries will obviously be affected. So as a result of this, 3 more countries are added in the Arctic Ocean. So you know the 5 countries which are surrounding the Arctic Ocean, plus 3 more countries, that makes the total 8 countries. What are these 3 more countries? One is Iceland, second is Sweden, and third is Finland. So fourth is Iceland, Sweden, or Finland, then 7th is the Norway, and the 8th country is the Russia. 8th country is Russia. 8th country is the Russia. So these are the countries which surround the Arctic Ocean or Arctic Ocean region. These are the 8 countries which surround the which are present in the Arctic Council. So you can see the Arctic Council consists of these 8 countries. Now, what is the role of an Arctic Council to address the issues out of Arctic Ocean? What are the issues? Climate change is one of the issue, rising sea level is one of the issue, melting of the ice caps and glaciers is one of the issue, discovery of oil in the Arctic Ocean is one of the issue, use and sharing of the resources in the Arctic Ocean is one of the issue. Now we will see, is there anything, when was the Arctic Council established? So this Arctic Council was established This Arctic Council was established in 1996. By Ottawa Declaration. By an Ottawa Declaration. What is an Ottawa Declaration? as the declaration was signed in Ottawa, which is a city in Canada, it is known as an Ottawa Declaration. Now, what about the role of India in the Arctic? Is India a part of an Arctic or not? Had India not been a part of Arctic, then in the preliminary examination you would not have got a question regarding end arc. What is an end arc? So the next topic you should know is the India's role in the Arctic. So you know what is an Arctic Council. Now we will do India and the Arctic region. India and the Arctic region. Now, India and the Arctic, these are the countries which are there in the Council, Arctic Council. These are the permanent members in the Arctic Council. Now, some of the countries like India are part of an Arctic Council but not as a permanent member, as an observer status. So you should know India and China in our neighborhood, not Pakistan, not Sri Lanka, not Bhutan, not Nepal. Only India and China are the observers in the Arctic Council region. So what is the role in the Arctic Council? India and China are observers. Are observers in the Arctic Council. Now, India's association with the Arctic. See, India's association with the Arctic is a very old association. India's association with Arctic, interestingly, India's association with Arctic dates back to around 1920s. Is in around 1920s. When India signed a treaty in 1920, when India signed a treaty known as an Svalbard Treaty, in Paris. Known as a Svalbard Treaty in Paris. So India is a part of an Arctic through a Svalbard Treaty of Paris. Now, how could India sign a treaty in 1920s? India signed a treaty in 1920s as a dominion of a British, as a part of a British Empire. So therefore, we have as a British dominion state. So India signed an Arctic treaty in 1920 known as a Svalbard Treaty as a British dominion state. As a British dominion state. I hope that you know through the polity lectures what is a dominion state, what is an independent state, what is a sovereign state, etc. So obviously we were not independent and sovereign. We were a part of a British Empire. We acknowledge the rule of a queen and therefore we are a British dominion state. We did not have an independent head of a state. Head of the state for us, or the ruler of India, was the queen, and therefore we say that it is a British dominion state. So we signed a Svalbard Treaty as a British dominion state in 1920s. Now India's research in Arctic started in 2007. In 2007, we started with the Arctic Research Program. So after 1920s, in the 2007, India started Arctic Research Program. We started our Arctic research program, or we launched our Arctic research program. See, now there were 4 dimensions of this Arctic research program. What were these 4 dimensions of the Arctic research program? There were 4 dimensions. Is the effect of Arctic ice hypothesized? That is there any relation between Indian monsoon and the Arctic climate, or the changes in the Arctic climate? Because if El Nino which occurs in the South Pacific Ocean can affect the Indian monsoon, maybe the climate change in the Arctic or climate in the Arctic may also affect the Indian monsoon. So India's Arctic research program has 4 dimensions. A hypothesized relation between Arctic climate and Indian monsoon. and Indian monsoon. The second one was, so the first was this, the second one was to study the change in sea ice due to global warming. That is, we know that the sea ice is melting, so we have to study the change in the sea ice due to global warming. Why this is due to global warming? The third is to study to do the research on Arctic glaciers and the sea level change. So we are at one point we are studying the sea ice, because the sea in the Arctic region is frozen, but at the same time I also told that sea water is a saline water. You have to consider about the fresh water which is held in glaciers. To study the melting of glaciers, or we can say to do research on Arctic glaciers and the sea level change. And sea level change. And obviously the fourth one is assessment of flora and fauna in the Arctic. That is, the Arctic Ocean will be rich in some kind of flora, will be rich in some kind of fauna. There are many animals, many mammals, many fishes which migrate from the Arctic to the equatorial regions. Example, whales which go from Arctic to the equatorial regions. Now if there is a stress, if there is a climate change, obviously it will affect these animals. So we have to do to assess the flora and fauna of the Arctic region. Assess the flora and fauna of this Arctic region. And why should we assess? Because we should know their response. And their response to what? Their response to the anthropogenic activities. Their response to anthropogenic activities. And their response to the anthropogenic activities. So we should know their response to this anthropogenic activities. So India started Arctic research program with this 4 focus in mind. One is the relation between Arctic climate and in the Indian monsoon. So obviously we are concerned more of our Indian monsoon. So this is one. Second is the change in the sea ice, melting of the sea ice. Fourth is the melting of the glaciers, and due to which there will be rise in the sea level and the effect on the flora and the fauna of the Arctic. And why we are studying is, that is global warming, anthropogenic activities, sea bleaching, coral bleaching. These are all the topics which we are going to study. That is the ocean acidification, etc. This is why this is happening and how the animals are responding to it. So in 2007 we started our Arctic research program. In 1920s we signed a Svalbard Treaty. As a British Dominion state. As a British Dominion state. In 2007 we started our Arctic research program. Now in 2007 India, how to start an Arctic research program. In 2007, India's research base was established. In 2007, we started our Arctic research program with the 4 objectives, and to study that, a research base was established, known as Himadri, was established. So we established our research base known as Himadri at Nyal Sund at a place known as Nyal Sund in Norway. So you have one more question here, that where is India's Arctic research base? In Norway. What it is known as? It is known as an Himadri. Where in Norway? At Nilesund, a place in Norway. When was it established? When India started an Arctic research program that is in 2007. Now due to India's contribution, that is India contributed around $12 million, US dollar 12 million for the Arctic Ocean region, and therefore in 2013, India was granted an observer status in the Arctic Council. India was granted observer status in Arctic Council. Now, what is this observer status? Observer status means not a full membership is given of anybody. We can participate in the meetings, we can share our ideas as an observer. Obviously, limited powers in the amount of decision making are given to observer, or maybe no powers can be given, but the suggestions can be made. So, India is an observer status. Why? Because the permanent status is only given to the 8 countries of which are surrounding the Arctic region. Now, after this, India, in 2014, India established first underwater observatory known as INDARC in 2014. So what we did in 2014? In 2014, India's first underwater observatory known as INDARC known as INDARC was established between Norway and North Pole. Between Norway and North Pole. If you want to know the place, it is known as Kongsjorden Fjord. So we established our first underwater observatory known as an INDARC. So this is our relationship with the Arctic. It started with the 1920s through Svalbard Treaty, which we signed as a British Dominion state. After that, we established Himadri with the 4 objectives. One is of the monsoon, second is of the melting of the sea ice, third is of the melting of the glaciers, the fourth is of flora and fauna. Then in 2013, because of our contribution, we were given observer status. The only other country in our neighborhood which is having observer status is China. And the fourth one is in 2014, India gave its first underwater observatory known as an INDARC in the 2014, and this was the question in 2015 preliminary examination, that is what is an INDARC. So this is our relation right now with Arctic. What is the points to remember? You have to remember Svalbard Treaty, you have to remember Ottawa Declaration. So Ottawa Declaration resulted into formation of an Arctic Council. Which are the countries surrounding the Arctic Ocean? The 5 countries, that is USA, Canada, USA through Alaska, Canada, Greenland through Denmark through Greenland, Norway and Russia. What are the countries in the Arctic Council? These 5 countries plus 3 countries of Iceland, Finland and Sweden. So these are the permanent members. In 2013, India was taken in Arctic Council as an observer state. Why is the importance? Because it is said that Arctic Sea is rich in resources, rich in oil resources. That is why there is so much fight for the Arctic. What will happen in the future? Maybe a Cold War which was between US and Russia during the after the World War may be even there for the Arctic Ocean region. So it may result in the Cold War between the Western powers and Russia in the Arctic Ocean region. Now in 2014, India first underwater observatory, the INDARC, was established. So this is right now the Arctic Ocean, one of the important topics for both prelims and mains examination. Prelims examination, the importance is more in the countries surrounding those and the Arctic Council region. Okay, so this is how the Arctic is. Next we will study the Antarctic region, and then again we will come back to the proper geography, because these are also important, which you can classify as current affairs or geography. Till the time we meet again, thank you very much.